If you have weak ankles that are holding you back from living your best life, then I have a solution for you. And we got to start by seeing what's going on downtown. So we're going to start off with a 5-inch knee to wall test. So mark off about 5 inches away from the wall or a squat rack if you have one. And what we're going to do is we're going to put our toes right at the edge of that line. And I want you to grab the ground with your foot. We'll talk more about that here in a little while. And then I want you just to try to drive your knee as far forward as possible without your heel popping up off the ground. Now, you might be wondering, what does that have to do with my ankles being weak? Well, check this out, gang. You want all your joints, from your ankles to your shoulders to your hips, everything to be mobile, but you want your body to be strong in all ranges of motion. So what we need to do is we need to increase our range of motion at our ankle, and then we need to strengthen all of those angles. So as you're doing this wall test, watch what my foot does. I don't want my heel to raise up like this. This is not a good view of what's going on at my ankle. This is cheating. And I also don't want my knee to collapse as I'm going in. Both of these are going to give you a false impression of what's actually going on at your ankle. I want you guys to go ahead and pause the video and measure how far away your knee gets from that wall on both sides. Pause the video. Measure it out. Right. The first step in fixing your ankle means that we have to increase the range of motion. So we're going to start off by smashing out your foot. This is called a foot smash. Novel. Yes, I know. So what you're going to do is grab a lacrosse ball, baseball, racquetball, anything that's spherical that you can use to smash out the arch of your foot. And that's exactly what we're going to do. You can see what I'm doing is I'm kind of peeling that ball off towards the middle of my foot. I'm starting dead center and then just kind of rotating my foot like I'm squashing a bug. Now what this is doing is it's loosening up the tissue on the bottom part of my foot. So go ahead and do this for 1 minute on each foot. Pause the video. Now we need to move up your leg and really address the puppet master of the ankle, and that is your calves. So we're going to do this rather aggressively. If you've watched any of our videos, you know that we've gone over a calf smash before. What I'm having you guys do today is get yourself elevated. I'm using a foam roller. Put that same lacrosse ball that you use for your foot right underneath the meaty part of your calf. Now what I'm doing here is I'm slapping my foot 5 times as hard as I can and then rotating it in each direction 5 times, trying to draw the biggest circle that I possibly can. Once you've done it with your calf straight on there, I want you to rotate your foot off to the side and hit the outer part of your calf and do the same exact thing. 5 flicks with your foot as hard as you can. Rotate your foot in each direction 5 times, trying to make the biggest circle possible. Once you've got the middle of your calf and you've got the outside of your calf, we're going to do the same thing on the inside of our calf. Now, the whole time I want you guys to try and pick your butt up off the ground. If you have extremely tight calves, you might need to keep your butt on the ground, but try to be as aggressive with this as possible. Get your hips up there. Just grit your teeth, make it happen. Let's go ahead and do 1 minute for the middle and both sides of your calf. So 3 minutes total. Go ahead and pause the video, smash out those calves. The next stretch is called the kneeling stretch. So in addition to stretching out your ankle and your calves a little bit more, we're also going to get a little bit higher upstream and kind of get those adductors and those hips at the same time. And if those are tight, it will definitely affect how well your ankle is working. So I'm using a kettlebell, and you're going to need a little bit of weight for this one. And that's so that your midline and your trunk has something to work against so that you can keep your core active while you're doing this kneeling stretch. So you can see I'm just pushing my knee off to the side, the same direction that my toes are pointing. So look at it from another angle. I'm literally just rocking over to the side and my knee is going the same direction that my toes are pointing. Now on this one, you want to try to hold that position as long as you can at the end range of motion so you can really let everything stretch out. Now be careful that you don't lean over with just your chest, and be careful that you don't let your knee collapse as you're doing this. Both are going to mute the effect of the stretch. Go ahead and do this for 2 minutes on each side. Just pause the video and make it happen. Those stretches are going to help us increase our range of motion. But again, like I said at the beginning of the video, that's only part of this equation. The second part of the equation to have stronger ankles is to make sure that you can stabilize that joint at all ranges of motion. So we're going to start activating all the right muscles by starting off with some calf raises. Now, this isn't anything super crazy. What you want to do is have something about 3 to 5 inches off the ground so that whenever you are doing these calf raises, you can get a really large range of motion. And that's really the secret to creating stability about any joint, is making sure that you're doing the movement through a huge range of motion. So ideally, what you want to do is you want to go all the way down, tap that heel on the ground, get a pretty decent stretch out of your calf, and then come all the way up to the very tip top and get a good contraction out of those calf muscles. You can do this with both feet on whatever you're using, or you can do it individually. If you're going to do these calf raises individually, do 20 reps on each leg. And again, make sure that you get a big range of motion. You can see once I go to an individual, my range of motion isn't quite as good. If you're doing this with your feet together, I want you to go ahead and do 40 reps. Go ahead and take your time, full range of motion, big contraction at top, tiny stretch at the bottom. Pause the video, make it happen. The shins and the calves are the puppet masters to what's happening at our foot and our ankle. So in order to have a strong ankle, we need to make sure that we work both the back and the front side of our leg. So we're gonna do the front side by just doing these heel walks. You literally pick your toes up and just start walking, gang. I want you to go ahead and accumulate 2 minutes worth of this heel walk. Go ahead and pause the video, walk it out. We've done our stretching, we've done our activating. Now it's time to train this joint to behave the way it's supposed to in a larger movement pattern. We're gonna do that in a squat. Now let me show you what's happening with our foot. This is called a short foot. You're literally just going to grab the ground with your foot, and that's what you're gonna try to do the entire time you're squatting. So here it is, I'm gonna grab the ground. This is me doing nothing. This is me grabbing the ground. This is me doing nothing. And you can see what a difference that makes on my shin. It completely rotates the lower part of my leg. Now, what this is gonna do is it's going to help create a ton of stability about my ankle. If I can't maintain this short foot while I'm doing a squat or my deadlifts, then this is going to cause instability at the ankle. It is just gonna cause you to leak power, so you're not gonna have as good a lift, and you'll be much more susceptible to injury. So, grab the ground with your foot, make that short foot happen, and I want you guys just to start squatting. Now, as you're doing this, if you're grabbing the ground and creating that short foot as you're doing this squat, your knees are gonna be less likely to cave in, your shins are gonna go where they need to go, your ankles are gonna be very stable, and this should feel pretty natural, and you should be able to get down with your hip crease below your knees. Now, if you just don't have the flexibility in your hamstrings and your hips to do this yet, that's fine. Just go down as low as you can. But look at what my feet are doing. I'm maintaining that short foot the entire time. Here's a close-up view of what's happening. I'm trying to maintain that arch, and I'm gonna come right back up to the top. Now, this is a hard game to play, guys. So if you need to stop and maybe not go down quite as far, or you know that once you get halfway, your feet completely cave in, stop there. You want high quality reps. And if that means stopping a little bit higher right now to make sure that we are creating stability about our ankle, that's perfectly fine. So this is what it looks like from a few different angles. I'm gonna show you guys what's typically gonna happen when we let our short foot come undone. Notice what happens when I get about halfway, boom, my feet come undone, I can't maintain that arch, and my knees cave in. Now, the real important thing to take away from this is that once my knees cave in, I am a lot more susceptible to injury at my knees, at my ankles, at my hips, maybe even my lower back. So this is not good, and all because I can't maintain a short foot. Now, you can see how imperative this is to our squat and our knee health, our ankle health, and everything else. So it's very important that you get very comfortable holding this position with your feet. Otherwise, again, you just increase the likelihood that you're going to get injured, and that'll prevent you from living life. Now, another thing that might happen is you might be able to hold that short foot, but your knees might not go out all the way. So this is better than the previous example, but it means that we still have some room for improvement. And we actually have a video about that you should go check out whenever you're done watching this video. So I want you guys to pause the video and do 3 minutes worth of squatting. Take your time, focus on all the little things, make it happen. It's that time again. We've done all of our stretching, we've done all of our activation, and we've integrated our joint into a larger movement pattern. Now get back to that 5-inch knee to wall test and see if you are better, same, or worse. Hopefully you've helped increase your range of motion and strengthen that joint in the new range of motion that you created. And this is how you create strong, healthy ankles that are going to let you live life without being hindered by physical limitations. Gang, I hope this video has helped you. If it has, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the like button, and then share it with a friend who also needs a little bit of help strengthening their ankles. Hope you guys have a great day. We'll see you on the next video.